When you feel like you have to do a million things at once and you can't even plan for it because you don't know what the next 10 minutes will bring, just-in-time planning gives you calm amidst the chaos. What was the second thing? I didn't even... Okay. Just-in-time planning gives you calm amidst the chaos, certainty that you won't forget anything, and also the productivity to do all of that at lightning speed. Actually, just-in-time planning is a very simple system, and I think that's a characteristic of all good systems. I work as a software engineer, and I would actually say that the core of my job lies in finding the simplest way of doing something. As Einstein said, things should be made as simple as possible, but not simpler. This is especially the case when you're working with systems that people have to work with, because we want a sense of freedom. We don't want to feel constrained by rigid processes, and we're not going to do things if they feel like very robotic. We want our systems to get out of our way as quickly as possible so that we can continue being what we do best, being human. And that's why all you need for just-in-time planning is something to write down on. It can be a piece of paper, or it can be a digital note. So I would recommend it to be digital because oftentimes you'll have to reorder things and that gets kind of annoying on a piece of paper. It's funny how I discovered just-in-time planning. I just kind of at some point started doing it and then afterwards realized like, hey, this is a pretty good idea. So I had to work on building a feature in a piece of software. And I kind of knew what I wanted, but I didn't really know how or where to start doing it. So I kind of started going through the files and seeing like, oh, this is an interesting one, this is good. And then in the meantime, I saw some more bugs because I was just playing around with the platform and I wanted to find out where the bugs come from because I could fix them at the same time. But then I had like 27 open files and I forgot where I started, and so I would have to restart. But I knew at that point, this is the start of an infinite loop because I'm gonna restart and I'm gonna go through the 27 files again and I'm not gonna know anymore and I'm gonna have to restart again. So I will end up tomorrow morning saying to my customer, yeah, I tried to figure out the thing and I kept forgetting and so I didn't really do anything. That is not a good thing to tell your customer. So I thought that I need to fix this right now. I think everything I do, I try to do it with passion and excellence, and at that point I realized that my level of excellence is not where it should be. So I needed to up my game. I did that thing already. I knew what the goal was and I know a few things here and there on how to get there. So what I did was I opened another file, number 28 if you're keeping track, and I wrote down what I needed to do and all the things I could remember. And then I kind of started going. Like my first task was figure out where to add the first thing. So I added that to like my little impromptu to-do list, figure out what the first file to change something is. And I started looking, and along the way, everything I learned, like, this is maybe a good place to add this part, or, oh, this is maybe I can copy paste some part of because it looks pretty similar. I just wrote down all those insights next to that, and so I kept that on one side of my screen and the real code editor on the other side of the screen. And from that point, it just started flowing. I knew what I had to do next. I started figuring it out. Any new information, I just added it to the list. Any new things that I knew, oh, I don't have to forget this, I added it to the list. I reordered it a few times, maybe did some things out of order, whatever. But like everything got done so quickly and so effortlessly. It was amazing. So let's figure out what happened here and how we can replicate this. I want to encourage you here and make you realize that you can come up with things like this too. You don't need to be particularly smart or creative. All that it takes is this mindset of once in a while thinking and realizing it, oh wait, maybe I'm not doing this in the best way possible. So let me take a step back and think about it for a few minutes. Is this the best way to solve this problem? And that over time, if you're not doing that yet, over time that will really make you much more productive and also much calmer while doing it. For just-in-time planning, I'll call it JIT planning for now because just-in-time planning is just so long. For JIT planning, there are 5 factors that I want you to pay attention to. 1, keep a plan within eyesight. Your plan is your grounding and it's what directs your work. So it's very important that you have it very close I have been the most productive when I literally split my screen and like I have a small part with just the plan and then the big part with the actual application I'm working on. I just stick with this. Yeah. Number 2, always stick to the plan. The first unchecked item on your plan should be the only thing you're doing right now. The reason for this is that imagine you're working and you get distracted at some point, maybe there's an urgent phone call. Normally you would take like 17 minutes to get back into flow. This is, I think, the number that's been researched. That's a long time. But if you have this plan that's very detailed, then it's like a checkpoint in the video game. You just like reload and you get back into it within a few minutes. Number 3, update the plan so you can stick to it. When I first started making plans, it was very frustrating because I always tend to underestimate how long things will take. And so every plan I make, it never works out. I never can do all the things on there. The breakthrough came when I realized I could update the plan. So now I always stick to the plan because I cheat and I change the plan. So it sounds a bit ridiculous, but seriously, the most important part of this plan is making you stick to doing one specific thing and keeping you from distraction. So you have to update it when things change. Especially a just-in-time plan when you don't know what you're going to be doing within the next 10 minutes. If you don't update the plan, there's no plan within 10 minutes. So like, let yourself update this all the freaking time. It's okay. It's okay. It makes you stick to it. It's good. Number 4, combine what to do with how to do it. This is one of those realizations that once you start doing it, you really don't want to go back to anything else, and it's one of the things that I feel like every to-do application is lacking in. You know, so often we have this list of things we need to do, and they're so vague. It's like, write report. Which report? Where is it? Which parts needs to be changed? How long is it gonna take me? Should I do it now or should I not do it now? And it takes so much time to just start figuring out what the things are that need to change. We need to like load everything back up into our brain, and it takes such a long time. While actually, at some point, you knew what you had to do there. You knew very specifically this thing needs to change, this thing needs to change. So add it to a little list, the specific things to do, and then how to do it. Like, we should go to this website to make this graphic, for example. This data is something you should get from there. The introduction can be inspired by this other report that I wrote 5 months ago. You see how that gets you through it much more quickly? And the 5th guideline is, don't take it too seriously. I've been using words like you must do this and I always do that, but if you're doing it 80%, it's perfect. So there's one more hidden advantage to working from a plan as opposed to a to-do list. I'm sure you have days where you have 30 items on your to-do list. Does that motivate you? No, I just want to go to YouTube and watch another video on the newest propulsion method for spacecraft. And then at the end of the day, you maybe do 10 of those 20, and what do you see? The 20 things that are remaining, and it sucks. That feeling is awesome. While if you work from a plan, you see the things that you have done already. And one of your main sources of motivation is a feeling of momentum, is a feeling of progress. When you're working, one of the most important things for you is to stay motivated so you can keep working. So, like, this is the core of your work, and it's one of your core skills you should train yourself in. It's only one level deeper than the normal to-dos that we all see in our work life, but it's a very, very important and very fundamental skill. Get yourself and keep yourself motivated. To summarize, when you start to feel overwhelmed, create a just-in-time plan. Add any specific tasks for things you need to do, and add information you need to be able to do them. And 3rd, update the plan as you go, as the things change, as the ideas change, as new things come in, as things get deleted. This technique is one of those rare ones that makes you more productive, while at the same time making you calmer as well. And I think that's what it's about at the end. And working more excellently, and doing it in a way that you enjoy life more. So go out there, take this information and crush it with love. Thank you for watching. Like the video, subscribe if you want to see more, follow me on Twitter and Instagram if you want to see a bit more short form content, and I will see you in the next video. Thank you for watching.